Hey, what's going on, everybody? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's happening? Good afternoon. Happy Sunday to everyone. It's your girl Tiffany coming through here live in effect for Peace and Power Elevation. So I'm continuing with my series about the civil rights activists that were unsung and Black psychiatrists and psychologists as well. So the next one I'm dealing with is Sue Bailey Thurman, who was the wife of Howard Thurman. Okay. She was also a civil rights leader and author herself. So I have some information regarding to her biography. You guys make sure that you subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, share the channel, like the channel, all that great stuff. All right. So thank you guys for tuning in. Okay. Now I'm gonna go ahead and get started. All right, so let me go ahead and get started on this information. Oops. Hold on. All right, so right here I'm on Wikipedia source, and as you can see, The Pioneers of Negro Origin in California, that was the book that she had read. So it may be hard to find it because it might be out of print or whatnot. But yeah, it talks about Black people in California migrated to Cali and all of that. So yeah, going into the background, Black folks in the California area. Okay. Um, as you can see, this is a picture of her in 1953. That's a picture of her. So Sue Bailey Thurman was born August 26th of 1903, and she died in December 25th of 1996. And she was an American author, lecturer, historian, and civil activist. She was a white student from Oakland College in Ohio. Now, she was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas. She briefly taught at the Hampton Institute in Virginia before becoming involved in international work with YWCA. Trip through Asia in the mid-1930s, Truman became the first African-American woman to have an audience with Mahatma Gandhi. The meeting with Gandhi inspired Thurman and her husband, theologian Howard Thurman, to promote nonviolent resistance as means of creating social change, bringing it into the attention of a young preacher, Martin Luther King Jr. While they did not actively protest during the civil rights movement, they served as spiritual counselor to many on the front lines and helped establish the first interracial non-denominational church in the United States. Okay. And also say that she had played an active role in establishing international students organization to help prevent foreign students feeling isolated while studying abroad. She organized one of the first international scholarship programs for African American women. She studied racism and the effects of prejudice on various people throughout the world, making 2 round the world trips in her lifetime. She wrote books and newspaper articles to preserve Black heritage and initiated the publishing efforts of National Council of Negro Women by founding the Afro-American Women's Journal. So she founded the Afro-American Women's Journal. In addition to writing the second ever history of Black Californians, in 1958, Thurman published a cookbook laced with historical information about Black professional women at a time when African American had a few civil rights, recognizing that there was little academic interest in Black women's history at the time. Thurman used the marketing poly of food to report on the lives of Black women who were not domestics. She participated in international peace and feminist conferences. In 1945, attended the San Francisco Conference for Founding of the United Nations as part of an unofficial delegation. Thurman also established museums such as the Museum of Afro-American History in Boston in 1963. Thurman and her husband retired in San Francisco in 1965. She worked with the San Francisco Public Library in 1969 to develop resources for Black history on the American West. In 1979, she was honored with a Centennial Award at Spelman College, sharing the recognition with UNESCO Director Herschel Sullivan Chandler. After her husband's death in 1981, Thurman took over the management of the Howard Thurman Educational Trust, which funded research for literary, religious, and scientific purposes and assisted in scholarships for Black students. On her death in 1996, she left the couple's vast archives to numerous universities. All right, so this is the college she attended to. Now, Oberlin College. Okay, I can't get it posted. Anyways, all right, so that's Oberlin College. So Oberlin College was one of the few colleges that opened up its doors to African Americans. All right. So it said that she was born in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, to Reverend Isaac and Susie Ford Bailey. She attended primary school at Nanny Burroughs Schools for Girls in Washington, D.C. In 1920, she graduated from college preparatory school, Spelman Seminary, which is now Spelman College in Georgia. She continued her education at Oberlin College in Oberlin, Ohio, graduating in 1926 with bachelor's degrees in music and liberal arts. Okay. So she developed a friendship with Louise Thompson, who would become a central figure in the Harlem Renaissance movement, and encouraged Langston Hughes, inventor of jazz poetry, to read poetry there. She traveled with a quintet giving concert in Cleveland, New York, and Philadelphia, as well as London and Paris. All right. Okay, so again, it says that she took a post as music teacher at Hampton. I enjoyed the work. One of the issues at Hampton was that her friend Louise Thompson, also a teacher that had written anonymously to W.E.B. Du Bois, co-founder of the NAACP, complained about conditions at the college under the predominantly white administration. Although Bailey was suspected of writing the letter after Du Bois published it in the NAACP journal, The Crisis, she did not portray Thompson, but instead invited Langston Hughes to Hampton for a poetry reading and moral support. Okay. All right, so on June the 12th, 1932, in the dining hall at Lincoln Academy, King Mountain, North Carolina, Bailey married Howard W. Thurman, a minister who would become a social critic, writer, and the dean of several prominent U.S. universities. At the time of their marriage, he was serving as dean of Rankin Chapel and professor of systematic theology at Howard University in Washington, D.C. All right. All right, then. So now this is where she met Gandhi and Tagore. So, of course, it talked about the 6 months trip where she went to Southern Asia. Okay, she went to India, and it says culminating in a pilgrimage of friendship to the International Student Conference in India. Her husband led the American delegation at Wharton University, while Thurman herself was asked to meet with journalists to discuss the British, the African Americans, and the white Americans. So initially, Howard had turned down the opportunity, and his wife was not included in the offer. But when the truth was finally agreed, both were. Thurman was not chosen for Howard Thurman, but in the words of the committee, because she was one of the four persons able to do this particular job. All right, so it said the decision was remarkable for the period, given that Black women were often invisible members of society and generally prohibited from authoritative roles in social welfare programs. Herman lectured during the trip on Negro women and organizations to which they belong, as well as internationalism and culture. All right. So it said Thurman both sang and taught songs to local choirs. She also commented on art, having acquired knowledge on the subject during her earlier trip to Mexico. All right. This is Mary McLeod Bethune Council House right here. And it says I live in San Francisco. Late 1930s, which allowed African Americans and undergraduate women high academic achievement to study and travel abroad. The two were Mary Banfield of University and Anna V. Brown of Oberlin College. Banfield was a goddaughter of Howard Thurman. The following year, the recipients of her scholarship were Elizabeth McCree from Boston, who attended Fisk University, and Margaret Bush Wilson of Talladega College. All right. So again, it goes on. Now it goes on to talk about. Now it goes on to talk about this which is called Cognitive of Negro Origin in California. All right. So down here says she attended to the San Francisco conference, the founding of the United Nations, right? And the official African WEB was founder of the NAACP. Walter Francis White is Secretary of Bethune, who's the founder of the National Council of Negro Women, right? Okay, so after the event, Thurman published a report in the Chicago Defender on April proceeding out large population of developed countries will become a force reckoned. So in this book, she bring the historical cookbook of the American Negro. Uh, so basically, she talked about her life and what, and yeah, yeah. So go further down. Howard Thurman took retirement from Boston University in 1965, and the couple moved back to San Francisco. Thurman continued to pursue his historic preservation. She worked with the San Francisco Public Library in 1969 to develop resources for Black history. In 1970, the couple took a trip to the Pacific. In 1979, she was honored with the Centennial Award, of course. So and also she took over the management of Howard Thurman Educational Trust, right? So she was the mother of Ann Spencer Thurman and the stepmother of Olive Thurman, her husband's daughter with his first wife. Olive was the first wife of actor Victor Wong, okay? And Thurman died on Christmas Day, 1996 at the San Francisco Zen Buddhist Hospice Center. After her death in 1996, she and Howard's vast archive were donated per their wishes to numerous universities. The largest collection of their documents is housed at Boston University. There are additional collections of their writings and works at Oberlin, Emory University, and several other institutions like the National Council of Negro Women's Archives in Washington, D.C., libraries, and Arkansas named for her mother, Mrs. Susie Ford Bailey. The collection at Emory University includes the correspondence between the Thurmans and Mrs. Bailey, their personal libraries, and nearly 1,000 photographs. Right. So that's that information. Damn, I got running nose. All right. So, and then you can find more information at the Encyclopedia of Arkansas.net. And you can find books over here at archive.org. So just go into the website, and this is one of the books that she written, which is the historical cookbook of the American Negro. Okay, this is the book that she written. It goes into various cooking styles, etc. All right, you can find that. And here's another website, which is called archivebu.edu. So that's Boston University website. Okay, archives at bostonuniversity.edu. All right. Okay, so that's it. With that being said, thank you guys for tuning in, watching, supporting this channel, liking this channel, all that great stuff. So, with that being said, you guys take it easy on yourselves. Be safe out here. Okay. Have a good Sunday, and also happy Mother's Day to everybody that's celebrating Mother's Day. Um, and I'll talk to you guys next time. So until then, hopefully my sound is clear now, because the last video my sound was not that clear. So, and then my service is kind of acting up too. All right. But you guys take it easy, be safe, and I will talk to you guys later. I will build with y'all. Peace and power elevation. This your girl Tiffany, and I'm logging off. Thank you.